So it's 3:30 in the morning. It's dark. I'm getting out from under my blanket. I don't even need it. It's 3:30 in the morning, and I took some NyQuil earlier because I definitely am not feeling well, and I haven't been watching either of these two content creators because I've been learning other shit, and I've been going down other people's rabbit holes and shit. And I have had my struggles with trying to reach out to these people in my awakening, and at the end of the day, you can't take it away from them, wouldn't want to. These people know so much shit, both Boza and Indy. Like, they are so spiritually advanced, it's fucking unreal. And I woke up at probably 1, and I gotta get up at 6 anyway to get my kids ready for school, and I've just kind of been awake. Like, I was gonna watch another Mark Passio podcast, and I don't know, something drew me over to check over here, and I found this interview, like literally was drawn right to this interview, and I watched the whole thing, and it's a really good fucking interview. Like, this interview is probably the best one I've seen of them two together. And if you can't understand, if you would just wing it and watch this video and not be able to understand a word these people are saying, like, you have to start somewhere. And I really do. I think Mark Passio's podcast is a really, really good start, just from the couple of episodes I've watched so far. And this fucking interview cracked me up. Like, I was literally cracking up. And it kind of touched upon some of the things that me and my new buddy were talking about. And because he was like, he brought up the fact that I had brought up on my channel that before a guy, I had never slept with anybody who was jabbed. And he was like, that's just like, kind of shady. And I'm like, I totally get it. I was like, but I definitely fucked up. My one ex who like creeps on me and shit, and has a cancer-stricken son who is very young, was all about the jab and is in total fear, total fucked up mindset, mind control shit. And he was jabbed. I was like, so I misspoke whenever I said that guy was the first person. Like, it kind of sucks that he's the second person, but it kind of almost feels a little bit better that he wasn't the first, and it makes him feel a little less shady. But literally, if I ever stop talking to Guy, I am never fucking talking to anybody else in my whole life. I don't think, like, never again. It's like a never fucking again do I want to just contaminate myself with anybody else's bullshit, blah blah blah. But we were talking about literally so much shit, and he was telling me some things that has come online for him, like time traveling shit. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I was so instantly, when I was thrown online about a year and a half ago, it was like my whole life I had precognition. I had so many spiritual things going on anyway that when they called me crazy when I was going through my dark nights of the soul, I'm looking at all of this shit going, yeah, I don't know, maybe I am fucking crazy, because like I really feel like my whole life I've kind of like been dealing with like other sensory gifts and stuff, and like, yeah, maybe that's all crazy, like maybe I'm fucking nuts. So I was telling him about how fucking plagued, literally plagued I've been with spiritual gifts that have come online that I'm trying to learn how to navigate, and it's really fucking hard. It's really, really hard when you wake up and you actually weren't crazy for thinking that you had some kind of psychic spiritual gifts or anything. Like, when you wake up, you realize you're not the fucking crazy one here. And I was telling him about how literally it's really hard to go out in public and shit a lot of times, because I'll just be walking by people minding my own fucking business and I'll start catching their thoughts and shit. And I've actually had people I'm walking by them and I start catching their thoughts, and now I'm used to it, to the point that I'm like, I will literally not even miss a beat. I'll keep walking and pretend like I didn't hear what I just heard. But they notice, like they almost sense that some weird transfer of information just happened, and they'll kind of turn and look as I'm walking by, and it's like I literally try to just totally fucking pretend like it didn't happen. And then I have another homie who, he was telling me about the things that he has going on, and I was talking to him about this shit, and I'm like, I could literally, if I wanted to, instantly start catching whatever in the hell you're saying or what you're thinking. But I'm like, not only do I try to be respectful of people's privacy, I don't want me to be vulnerable to other people doing that to me. So it's like, it really sucks. It really sucks trying to navigate. And if you cannot afford either of these people, and if you cannot afford proper initiations, you have to do something to get yourself at a suitable initiation state to the reality that we are in a fucking simulation. And this shit cracked me up, literally cracked me up. And I see this guy's comment. This motherfucker does not need to swear, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I think it's fucking great. It's passion. Who cares? Like, if you can't deal with swearing, your whole life is so fucked and meaningless. Like, no thickness of your skin, no backbone. Like, literally, this fucking interview had me cracking up.
What you said, what you mentioned, about how there are, people out there that are exploiting people's woundedness in terms of being quote unquote fucking healers, man. It's like the dark accent in terms of the cult of the medics. There is no profit in health. Keep them sick, keep them coming. You don't want people to become dependent upon, things, but actually getting viable results, and then, and then their life starts to become an example, and then it's going out like that. You know what I'm saying?
The goal is to move people into their own mastery, but it takes time. it takes time.
It
Yeah.
can even take lifetime.
This was them talking about how she does seal removals and how she's done so many Jehovah's seal removals, and she started recently doing the Draco seals because I guess they're motherfuckers. And like, people can be doing this shit themselves, and she offers courses and stuff to teach people how to do this shit themselves. And like, I feel like it's interesting. I'd love to do them, but
Yeah. Think about how long it's taken to get here. How many lifetimes has it taken to get to these moments that we are in right now? It's taken fucking aeons.
It's a beautiful thing at the same time, isn't it?
It is. Right, because in the face of the contrast, you have to recognize why it's happening. It's because we are making a fucking dent. People are waking the fuck up. Mm-hmm. I don't care how it looks on the other side of the equation. I will never co-sign that fucking narrative. In terms of my own life and what I will experience otherwise in the face, even if the world burns down to fucking ash, I'll still be fucking standing. How about you? Will you still be standing on the other side of that, or anybody else? Or are you going to cave into fear and just let this devouring force, this parasite, come in and just fucking take it all? What rightfully belongs to you, which is your life, your soul, your birthright in terms of incarnation. Fuck these motherfuckers. Yeah. And that's the attitude of the fucking warrior. The warrior.
It is. I was just gonna say, you're channeling the warrior right now. He's coming through.
I'm holding back. I'm like, this is like 5%, Amanda. This is nothing. I'm trying to have like a cordial conversation without like, you know.
Yeah.
But that fire, it's the fire of life.
Literally, like, yeah, man. Like, they're talking about like men and women fighting together, and she's a fucking just sweetie pie, and I could not picture this woman like hand-to-hand combating anybody. And he's talking about how like men and women need to stop fighting against each other and be willing to fight together. And I'm like, this whole time on my channel, like, it is so hard to not want to beat the fuck out of people. Literally, as a life path 3, I have been at the magistrate since I was 8 for fighting and comedy, really, like, so fucking seriously at life path 3. And I love it. Like, I want to beat the fuck out of people, just sometimes.
That ignites. That's what they want to kill.
Yeah.
That zest, that passion, that fucking goddamn drive to rise with the sun every morning and have a sense of meaning and purpose to your existence, and not live in fear.
Yeah.
Of this
and
or that.
So many people, we're trying to help them get back there. Really, really, truly. And you do this by blackearthproductions.com. So you have an adept initiatory process in which you do this.
Services page directs people specifically to the mystery school. I recommend level 1 apprentice. That's an entire curriculum. I do one-on-one mentorship I do one-on-one mentorship with people. I work with people one-on-one. And the reason why I approach it like this is because how specific it is to an individual's templating. It's not a one-size-fits-all here, but based upon universal laws of metaphysics, eternal axioms, how things actually work. Okay, how does that operate with you as an individual? Now, we have similar templating, I would say, with the water element specifically, right? And going back to psychic ability, how do you deal with being psychic? Seriously, let's talk about that for a minute, because God damn it, I just wish that sometimes I could just turn it the fuck off and not be able to detect or know any of this fucking shit and just be normal. But we didn't get that here. I'm just saying, how do how do you go about navigating these experiences? You know, you're obviously getting insight that I can confirm, you know, so you have that ability. How is it though that at the same time, having this ability, being able to discern, you know, being a seer as being a seer, also recognizing how much static there is within the psychic field, how do you actually know if something's true or not, as far as what you're picking up on?
Yeah. Well, of course, there's moments that I question, you know, if what I'm getting is true or not. I would say mostly, though, I trust everything that comes to me. I really do. I trust it. And in terms of, I guess, in terms of navigating my own personal life, there's definitely, you have to sometimes, I wouldn't say turn it off. Like, I don't know if you really, I don't think I ever really turn it off, but
Well,
when you're around certain people,
you really can't turn it off.
Yeah, but when you're around certain people, they can't understand it, they can't mirror it, and they just can't participate with what you're saying, right? Like it's just it's overwhelming, it's too much, they just can't go there. So sometimes around some people, like you do have to keep things to yourself, right? Like, and kind of navigate off of, and it's difficult because you really kind of know what they're thinking. You really know what they're feeling. You really know deeper levels of what their subconscious and even their higher selves is going through. But you have to keep it in a framework of that human interaction in which is respectable to their inner privacy, right? Because you can't, it's like there's like still laws and rules, like you can't just like bombard their inner world. So yeah, I wouldn't say I ever turn it off, but I definitely suppress it sometimes around some people and around some relationships that I have. But when it comes to my work, when it comes to grid work, when it comes to my clientele, you know, I just let that, I open it up. I completely open it up.
Just let it fly, right? Because they're there and they want to know, right?
Yeah.
I swear to the gods, though, man. You know, there have been times where I'm picking up on stuff, and I'm gritting my fucking teeth, not saying shit, because I know it's not going to be heard, it's not going to be acknowledged, it's not going to matter, right? And that's another part of, you know, the warfare factor, the fact that those of us that have these extrasensory abilities can pick up on what's happening with other fucking people, and they don't even fucking know it. How the fuck can they not know it?
Yeah.
Blows my fucking mind.
I'll tell you what, it does come in handy when you're playing poker. Because I can read a table so good.
Oh, that's cool, right? Gotta ante up, fuckers. You know?
Yes.
Gotta ante up.
I usually can read someone's hand. I can read their hand. Yeah. But
protecting the aces.
Yeah.
We all got aces.
Yeah.
All of us.
So this interview was really, really good. Like literally, really good. And if my ex, who like, you know, mouths off sometimes to me, and was all about the jab and tried to like get me to get it and all of this shit, like I hope you watch this interview and see what the reality of you and your sick son situation really is. And I hope you stop getting him boosted. It makes me sick. But this interview touched on so many things that I've been talking about with other people. And it was kind of like one of the reasons why I just fucking literally was done. Like this last job I tried to work at, I was there for 3 fucking weeks and literally with no support, no like protections and stuff like that. It's horrible. It's literally fucking horrible when you're in a packed ass restaurant serving fucking alcohol. It's so fucking creepy. And I tried so hard. Like, I literally tried so hard at this job when I walked in there, and I was creeped out anyway. Because it was this fucking Catholic ass place. And they had a, Catholic decapitated Pope's head on the table there at Buca. I'm in there trying not to be paranoid, and I'm going, it's just the decorations on the walls. Like, it's not a big deal, I'm trying to be fucking, like, reasonable, I think. And it was like, whatever darkness was in that building was, like, hiding from me. Like, real haunting House on Haunted Hill shit. Like, when I started looking at these pictures and stuff, it started really creeping me out. And then when I started trying to help the other servers, and when I started giving the other mentally ill, spiritually gifted people, when I started giving them pieces of information to help them wake up, it was like I pissed off whatever was in that building. Okay, I'm gonna shut up because I'm coffee. And then the 3 days leading up to my birthday, it was literally like a fucking cage match. Like, I was so creeped out. Like, fuck that shit. This energy is fucking great.